Super Sonic speeds in front of Doom, kicking him right in the chest, with him being blown back by the attack. Super Sonic then appears in front of Frieza, going to nail him as well. Frieza attempts to block the attacks, but the two just end up pushing back on each other's hands. Frieza struggles to hold back Super Sonic as he just smiles at him. Super Sonic curls into a ball and unleashes multiple homing attacks onto Frieza, with him screaming out. Super Sonic throws Chaos Energy balls all around Frieza too, and with a snap of his fingers, they all explode, sending Frieza flying as well. Doom comes up behind Super Sonic, slashing right at him, with Super Sonic blocking the attack with one arm and not even moving whatsoever. Doom cowers in shock. How is this possible, to transform without the emeralds? Super Sonic speeds all around him, hitting him faster than he can even register. Doom Chaos controls away, attempting to regain his footing, but Super Sonic speeds right into him right away, not finished yet. Frieza fires a death beam right at Sonic's back, with Sonic turning towards him and smiling once again. The two go in to attack him together, with Super Sonic dodging all of their strikes. To them, it looks like he's standing still, with their attacks just going right through him. Super Sonic eventually blasts Frieza away, and then places both his hands on Doom's chest, spreading his energy all throughout, which throws the Chaos Emeralds right out of him. Black Doom yells out as Sonic throws him up into the air for Shadow to catch. The two fly next to each other, smiling. Super Sonic faces Super Shadow, saying it's good to have him back. The two fist bump, as Super Shadow glares daggers at Black Doom, saying he's his. Super Shadow bursts off to absolutely beat the crap out of Doom, as Super Sonic flies down to finish off Frieza.
Sonic wins!
Super Sonic begins to slow down after exerting so much energy. Though, Shadow isn't leaving him to die. Shadow slams into Frieza and stabs him right in the gut with a Chaos Spear. Frieza spits blood as Sonic rams right into his face with a figure 8. Black Doom slowly flies over, too damaged by Shadow to really do much, but he's not giving up yet. He desperately tries one last attack on Shadow, punching him with full force. The punch hits Shadow directly in the gut, with it doing nothing to him. Shadow grabs the fist off of him, telling Doom
This is the end of you, and the end to my cursed past.
Shadow headbutts Doom away and traps him in a chaos control vortex. He then appears next to Sonic, who has just winded Frieza considerably. The two then throw Frieza next to Black Doom, trapping him in chaos control as well. They then scream out now, as Goku throws down the Spirit Bomb towards the two. Shadow grabs onto Sonic to cast the two of them out of there, with the Spirit Bomb pushing right into the two tyrants. With them trapped in chaos control, they are completely defenseless when it comes to the sheer power of the Spirit Bomb. Goku managed to gather energy from this world, his friends, and worlds surrounding them to destroy these tyrants who killed his race. The Spirit Bomb envelops the two as they scream out. The bomb explodes, shaking the entire planet. Piccolo is thankfully able to cover the others in his own chaos energy to protect them from the blast. The planet is shaken, with the only land left around them, the one Piccolo is able to protect. Sonic and Shadow chaos control to the others, with Goku in hand, reverting back to normal, with Sonic collapsing in exhaustion. The others run up to hug them, congratulating each other on finally dealing with the two once and for all. Shade asks Shadow if Black Doom could have just chaos controlled away, but he says that he made sure to trap him in chaos control himself. That way, he would have no way of using those powers to escape. Plus, he was linked to him in some way, and he can't feel the hive mind anymore. Black Doom and all of the Black Arms are dead. Gohan asks Sonic how he was able to transform without any emeralds, with Sonic telling him he had access to the emeralds for a long time, and assumes since he had them for so long, he was able to just naturally absorb some of their energy over time, being able to access this version of Super Sonic without them. As they celebrate, Piccolo looks over his home planet, saddened by the state it's in, as most of the Namekians are dead. Goku tells him not to worry, as once they get back to Earth, they'll use their Dragon Balls to wish everybody back. Dende is really happy to hear this, and says that with this over, he might as well head off to the last Namekian village Amy and Metal Sonic save to let them know what happened. Dende flies off as Krillin then panics. He remembers that Bulma's still off in a cave somewhere by herself. Gohan says that they dropped Eggman off with her before they came to fight, so at least she has him for company. Some company, Sonic jokes, with them all laughing. Until Sonic stops laughing. He looks down and sees a hole has been blown right through his chest. The others stare in horror as Sonic collapses. They turn to see what's going on, as Shadow goes to dodge an attack, with him not getting out of the way in time, as it pierces his side. Shadow collapses in pain, but the others seeing Frieza, transformed once more by the power of the Mother Wisp. He roars, saying he never wanted to use this power, and these filthy Saiyans and Hedgehogs forced his hand. If he didn't activate it when he did, he may have very well been killed, which is something he's not going to let them live down. He sends a tentacle bursting right through Piccolo and slamming him right into the ground. Goku screams out at Frieza to stop it right now, but Frieza wants to see him suffer. He sticks his finger out and sends Krillin, Amy, Gohan, Shade, and Julie Su off of the ground. Goku rushes over and is able to grab Gohan and Amy, who are right next to each other, as the other three are launched into the air. Goku screams, begging Frieza to put them down, but Frieza doesn't respond as he clenches his fist, expanding the three out, tearing their insides apart with his power. Krillin screams out Goku's name as he and the others explode into a million pieces. Goku, Amy, and Gohan look up in horror as bits and pieces of their friends rain down on them. Frieza laughs now, seeing the looks on their faces. He says he'll give him a choice now of who he wants to die, the girl or the little boy. Goku is speechless.
You ruthless, heartless bastard!
He shakes violently as he looks at the mangled bodies of Sonic, Shadow, Piccolo, and the bits and pieces of Krillin, Shade, and Julie Su. Lightning strikes all around as he looks at the bodies of his friends. His hair raises on end.
I will make you suffer!
Frieza stares out at Goku, seeing that this is just like what the Hedgehog was doing earlier. He has to stop it. Frieza launches the other tentacle at Goku with a lightning bolt from the sky, striking it away. Goku's hair stands straight up as he transforms himself. Frieza recoils. This form. Saiyan should only be able to access Grade 8 power. This is no Grade 8. No, it can't be. This can't be the Super Saiyan? Goku looks up at Frieza. Unbridled rage fills his eyes. Piccolo is able to regenerate, looking on to see Goku in this state. Has he managed to access the power of his super form without the emeralds as well? No, this is something different. Goku turns to Piccolo and tells him to chaos control the survivors out of here and to then get off the planet. Gohan asks him what about him, with Goku roaring.
Do as I tell you right now, before I lose what little sense of reason I have left!
Piccolo grabs the others and tries to use the emeralds to chaos control away. However, the emeralds have been spent of their energy, being used for so long by Shadow and Black Doom, so he has to use his own chaos control to get them out of there. Who are you? Goku tells Frieza that this is a different form than what the Chaos Emeralds can give. When Sonic looked like this, it was due to the countless amount of Chaos energy that he had absorbed over the years. This is all of his own power, awakened by rage. Vegeta told him about a form like this, a legend passed down through the Saiyans for centuries. Vegeta thought the Ikari form was this legendary Super Saiyan, but he was wrong. He has awakened this ultimate power now. He is Son Goku, the Super Saiyan. Frieza laughed, saying so there was a truth to the legend after all. Well, he's not going to die by the hands of a Saiyan, and summons a giant death ball over his head, yelling that this planet is finished. Goku rushes over to try and stop him, but the blast hits the planet too fast, and everything around them erupts. From the other world, King Kai and the others watch as Frieza blows Namek up, with Tails not believing that Sonic and Goku are dead. It can't be over like that. Knuckles tries to comfort Tails, saying that hopefully they'll see them here again, and they can devise another plan before Frieza can get to Earth. This is when Kami speaks to King Kai, informing him that Mr. Popo is going out now to gather all the Earth's Dragon Balls. That way, they can revive those that have been in his care. King Kai can't believe that Kami is speaking, as that means Piccolo is alive too, meaning Namek must still be there. He checks in again to see that while the planet is badly damaged and close to exploding, everybody is still alive. Frieza curses that he held back too much, with Goku calling him a coward for taking the easy way out. This sets Frieza over the edge, with him unleashing 100% of his power and exploding back into his Mother Wisp transformation. Frieza rushes Goku, the two clashing blows once more. As the two fight it out, King Kai and Kami come up with a plan to use the Dragon Balls to bring everybody back and return them back to Earth. The others who left the battlefield are being healed by Dende, since thankfully Piccolo is able to hone in on their energy. Even though it looked very dire for him, Sonic survived and is back up on his feet. Shadow is healed up as well, and once they are informed of what happened, they are instantly filled with rage. Shadow is angry since he wanted to get forgiveness from Shade and Julie Sue after what the Black Arms did to their people. Now he's truly failed them. With Sonic not believing that Krillin is gone. He's already died once before to Chaos Piccolo, meaning he can't be brought back. Sonic erupts into his super form once more, telling the group he's going with Goku to get revenge. Amy tries to hold him back from going, as she already thought she lost him. She can't do it again. He says he's not just gonna sit back and wonder if his friend is dying or not. He has to do this. Shadow says he's coming along too, but once he summons the emeralds, he can feel that their power is waning due to overuse. They've had a little bit to cool down, but he doesn't know how long he'll be able to keep the super form up. Piccolo tells him that he can't use the emeralds to go and fight. He can feel that this planet doesn't have much longer before it explodes. So, they need them to get everybody out of here. Even if Shadow doesn't go, he knows he can't use the emeralds to bring everybody back to the planet. Only a few of them will be able to get out alive. Sonic tells him that he's off and they better figure it out fast. Sonic bursts off, instantly arriving at super speed to knock Frieza away. Goku turns, really happy to see that his friend is alive. Sonic is surprised to see what he's become now, as this isn't like any other super form he's ever seen. Frieza launches back in, infuriated, as he thought he already murdered this one. On Earth, Mr. Popo thankfully has gathered up all the Dragon Balls, and is able to wish back everybody who has been killed by Frieza's men. All around them, the Namekians rise back up from the dead, with those killed by Frieza back to life. The group look around, happy to see that everybody is coming back, but this is even worse, as now there's really no way to get them off of the planet. Shade, Julie Sue, and Vegeta rise back up from the dead, wondering how it is that they're alive. They're even more stumped to see Porunga, the dragon god, right near them. King Kai communicates with them, saying that they need to go to Porunga to wish them all back to Earth. Vegeta doesn't really understand what the voice in his head is telling him, but if this is the eternal dragon Porunga, maybe he can finally have his wish of immortality. He's just experienced death, and doesn't want that again. Shade says that this is not the time, as they need to get everybody out of here. Vegeta doesn't care if everybody else lives or dies, however. He just wants his revenge on Black Doom and Frieza. He goes to push it to his side, attempting to go to the dragon to make his wish, but the two stand in his way and attempt to fight him to get him away. King Kai curses that Vegeta's selfishness is going to get them all killed. There's nobody close enough to get the Porunga to make the wish. Is this the end of them? Kami has been listening in this whole time, and realizes the Namekian Dragon Balls aren't going to be saving them. He thinks of a way to get them all off, and while he doesn't want it to come to this, he turns to the Master Emerald. Kami tells King Kai to hang in tight, as this is their last option. Kami walks up to the Master Emerald, as this is their last chance. Tikal tells him this isn't a good idea, as she's warned the kids for years now never to use the full power of the Master Emerald, as with all that power, it can kill you. Kami tells her he has to try. He is the guardian of the Master Emerald, and the only Namekian who can save his race. Kami flies on top of the Master Emerald and begins to draw on its power. The Master Emerald's power flows through Kami, transforming him for the first time in years into Super Kami. Super Kami screams out the Chaos chant, honing in on all of the life forms on Namek to bring them here. The residents of Namek all begin to get a glow around them, which Shadow and Piccolo recognize as Chaos Control. Somebody's trying to use Chaos Control on them. Piccolo can feel the connection between Kami, knowing he's trying to save them. Can he do it though from so far away? Super Kami screams out, chanting more to enchant everybody to bring him back. Tikal screams for him to stop. He doesn't have enough power and is just gonna kill himself. Kami isn't going to fail. Not enough power. He's going to change that, even if it kills him. Super Kami screams as he absorbs the rest of the Master Emerald's power within himself, exploding in an orange glow as he transforms once again. Tikal is blown back as Angel Island quakes with this power. With all of this chaos energy flowing through Kami, he finally screams out, Chaos Control. Everybody on Namek is suddenly filled with this energy and teleported right back onto Angel Island. All except Goku, Sonic, and Frieza. Kami made sure not to bring Frieza here, but Sonic and Goku could feel the energy surrounding them and knew what was happening. If they are brought back to Earth, then there's nobody left to fight Frieza. They powered up, blowing the chaos energy off of themselves, and stayed behind to defeat Frieza for good. The others, all on Angel Island now, are ecstatic that they made it out, with Dende going over to Kami as fast as he can to heal him, saving him from death. Shadow looks at the sky, telling Sonic and Goku that they can do this.
Perhaps it's time to stop playing around.
The two revert back to their normal states, collapsing in pain to the ground. The Kaioken was the final straw, and they can barely move. The planet is going to blow. Sonic tries to stand up to run them to the ship, but he's too worn down. He can't get up. Goku can just get on his feet, but he can only walk. There's no way he can get both Sonic and himself out of here together. Lava spews from the planet as the two look right at each other. This is it. Goku kneels down to Sonic, his best friend, and the two of them hold on to each other in their final moments. With that, the planet explodes. King Kai sees the explosion from his planet and has to be the one to break the news to everyone. Tails collapses, crying from Otherworld, as Amy and Gohan do the same on Angel Island. Shadow curses. They did defeat Frieza, but at what cost? This is when the Namekian Dragon Balls all land on the island, having flown off here from Namek itself. The Grand Elder tells the group that his time is coming to an end, but not to worry. With his passing, he's giving ownership of the Dragon Balls to Mori, who he believes will make a fine guardian. With their Dragon Balls, they can revive them and the rest of their friends, as their Dragon Balls can revive somebody an unlimited number of times. This is great news for everybody, as now they can bring back Krillin, Goku, and Sonic. As the Grand Elder passes, the Namekians mourn his loss, but are hopeful that with the Dragon Balls, now they can have a second chance on a new planet. Eggman walks out with Metal Sonic and Metal Goku, telling them this is the best outcome he could have gotten, with those two dead on another world. Shadow appears in front of the Doctor, telling him to watch his tone. He may have helped them out, but he still hasn't forgiven him for everything he's done. Metal Sonic pushes Shadow off, as Eggman says that he's not going to start anything now. He was able to repair Metal Sonic and Metal Goku with Bulma, but he almost died for a second time, so just wants to go home to cool off. He knows those two thorns in his side will be revived eventually, so he's got to prepare a way to end them himself. Shadow isn't ready to let Eggman go, but Gohan stops him. He tells Shadow that if it wasn't for Eggman, they may have been killed by the Saiyans, and never would have made it to Namek in the first place to revive everybody. He deserves a second chance. He needs to let him go. Shadow is against it, but isn't going to argue with Goku's son, and tells Eggman to leave now. Eggman, Metal Sonic, and Metal Goku all fly off of the island, with Vegeta attempting to do the same as well. The two Nocturnes are disgusted with him, as they all almost died because of him. Vegeta calls them hypocrites, as they risked the safety of Earth by leaving to go off into space all those years ago, so they can't judge him. This gets the two to back off, with Vegeta looking on, wondering where he can go now. Bulma walks up to him, saying even though she thinks he's pretty evil, he did a big part in saving them, so invites him to stay at her place. Vegeta tries to tell her he's not interested, but Bulma doesn't take no for an answer, and forces him to come along. Vegeta doesn't know how he's being bossed around by this Earthling woman, but complies. With the damage done, our heroes begin to try and get their lives back in order for the eventual return of Sonic and Goku. The Namekians all stay on Angel Island, exploring while Kami and Piccolo get to know about their race. Shade and Julie Sue meet the legend Tikal, with the three Echidnas discussing their past in life, and Tikal saying she can't wait until they meet Knuckles. Gohan goes back to stay with his mom, while Shadow, with no place to go, goes to Amy's house to stay with her. He has her to thank for him getting his memories back, and she's been nothing but kind to him. Amy and Shadow get along very well, with Amy breaking right past Shadow's tough exterior to see how shy and kind he is underneath, which is something she actually finds really attractive. Eventually, Shadow and Amy go out to gun, since Amy makes Shadow go to apologize for all the trouble he caused years prior. The gun commander isn't happy with all he did, but Rouge tells him to lay off, since he saved her life and a bunch of other lives on Namek. Once the commander finds out about Black Doom's death too, and that Shadow helped take him down, he realizes that maybe Shadow isn't truly the death machine he saw in the Ark all those years ago. He tells Shadow that if he really wants to make a better life for himself, then why not he join them, as him and Agent Rouge can start their own task force to make the world a better place. Amy is super proud of Shadow for being able to get a position like this, telling Shadow he better take it. Shadow does take it, asking what the force will be called, with the commander informing him that they'll be known as Team Dark. Eggman, after flying off with his creations, makes it back to a lab. He tells the two to get back into pods next to Emerald, with the two following the orders. The two head into the pods, with the pods pulling the recordings of everything they saw in Namek. Eggman laughs, as not only did they pick up everything before he got there, but once he did, he and Bulma finished repairing them pretty quickly. To get more intel, he sent off the two to watch the battle from a distance and not interfere this time. This way, he can get even more data. He has gotten a lot more than he thought. Jiro comes up behind Eggman, asking if everything went according to plan, with Eggman revealing that they've exceeded it. After 4 long months pass, the Namekian Dragon Balls are activated once again, and with a tune-up for Mori, thankfully now they can revive multiple people at once. The wish to Purunga is made to revive those killed by Vegeta and Nappa, with Yamcha, Tien, Knuckles, and Tails returning to life. The next wish is to build a new Namek for the Namekians to live on, and once that is completed, the final wish is to revive all those killed by the actions of Frieza and his men. Purunga grants the wish, with the souls being summoned to Earth and reformed, with surprisingly only Krillin coming back. The group are happy that Krillin has been brought back, but are confused as to where Sonic and Goku are. Mori stops the dragon before he leaves, asking why he couldn't bring those two back. Purunga simply states that he wasn't able to revive the ones known as Son Goku and Sonic the Hedgehog because they're still alive. And with that, we end the Doomed Freeza Saga. Dear God, this part took forever to make, so I really hope that the wait was worth it and that everybody enjoyed. This arc was definitely a huge blast to write, and don't worry, we're not done with this story yet, but I am going to be taking a bit of a break from the series to get some new ideas and give some other stories a chance to shine. And also, for the next parts, I'm definitely gonna need a lot of art done for it, so if you guys really want to see some cool art for the next part, please consider supporting me on Patreon, as with every dollar that I get on there will contribute to making this series bigger and better than it has before. So, link in the description if you guys want to pledge to really help out this series. And as always, gigantic shoutouts to my patrons for helping to support this series, as I really wouldn't be able to do it without all of their help. So, as always, I'd like to thank Patrick Sanelin, Always Zero, John Lister, Boris, David Monroe, Nathan, BBB, Sin Shenron 92, Ogata Shiba, Monal, 11726, Quintez Shepard, Bossmaker, Thomas Billington, Plub Cole, Blake Fourier, Jared Guzman, Eric Doss, Matthew Garcia, Vegito Gaming 78, Judgment Wings, Sasuke 3252, True Lightning Striker, Saiyan Champ, Speedster 3252, Joseph Calvin Logue, Tony Kage, Semroth, and Ashton Sanderson. Thank you all so much. And with that, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to meet you again in the next arc. See you later!